Okay, this is going to be a fun one. I needed to cut uh, a piece of trim here. This is going to be a cap that's going to sit on top of the block wall from the old garage. It was on there before, but when we put the butcher block in, we had to modify it a little bit. And I needed to put a little bit of a curve on it, and could have done this with jigsaw, um, but I figured I'd get my grandpa's old scroll saw out. I looked it up. This is a very old Craftsman 11027080. It's called a jigsaw. Um, Obviously, it's not what we know of as a jigsaw today. It's more of a scroll saw. And I used this in like elementary school to do all kinds of little projects. And somehow it made it to my house. And I remember it not working the very last time I used it, and tried to use it again today. And of course, it didn't work. And turns out I've taken it apart, and the way it works is there's a motor in there with a magnet and then a plate. And I don't know a lot about electric motors, but essentially that motor excites the plate and just makes the plate go up and down. So I'm gonna kick it on here. It's gonna be loud, but so it kicks on. It just vibrates up and down, and this arm sets the depth. But this little arm is the one that actually allows flexibility. So if you see it moving, it's actually just this arm that's doing most of the oscillating. And it took me a while to adjust. I had to bend the arm back and forth and adjust the motor and reassemble it. And I finally got it working. But the thing is, it works so slowly that you don't even know it's working. I made the mistake of getting really fine-toothed blades. But you can see here, when I turn it on, it just is incredibly slow. It is actually cutting very slowly, and if I go too hard, so anyways, it does work. I don't know if maybe the motor is weaker, and that's why it's stopping like that, or I may have this too tight. I realized initially I was not getting this tight enough, and it would wobble. The blade would wobble because I think it was coming up and hitting this arm, which is much more stiff, whereas this one is more flex. So I finally got it bent right for the length of blade. It's possible that when it originally was used, it had a shorter blade. I don't know much about it, but anyways, it is working. I am going to be able to make this cut. I'll just be here all night doing it, but it'll be a nice clean cut, and I can really shape it the way I want, and we'll use it for other things. In retrospect, if you have a small piece of wood, let me get a small piece off of this. I think it would work great for small crafts. So if you're just I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll try it with one. So for small little crafts and things like that, it'll work great. I remember using it to build soapbox derby cars and actually make the cuts on them. So it's kind of fun. It's a fun little project. It's going to be useful. Hopefully I can use it for other things now that I understand how it works.